on my nerves. Too stuck up to buy from us nowadays.
Oh, you managed to get here at last, Berenger.
Good morning, John.
Late as usual. Of course, our appointment was for 11:30, and now it's practically midday.
I'm sorry. Have you been waiting long?
No, I've only just arrived myself.
In that case, I don't feel so bad.
It's different with me. I don't like waiting. I have no time to waste. And seeing as you're never on time, I come late on purpose, at a time when I presume you'll be there.
You're right. Quite right.
Now don't try to pretend you're ever on time.
No, of course not. I wouldn't say that.
There you are, you see.
What are you drinking?
You mean to say you got a thirst even at this time in the morning?
It's so hot and dry.
The more you drink, the thirstier you get. Popular science tells us that.
It'd be less dry and we'd be less thirsty if they'd invented some scientific clouds in the sky.
How would it help you any? You're not thirsty for water, Berenger.
I don't understand what you mean.
You know perfectly well what I mean. I'm talking about your parched throat. That's a territory that can't get enough.
To compare my throat to a piece of land seems...
You're in a bad way, my
In a
friend.
bad way, you think so?
I'm not blind, you know. You're dropping with fatigue. You've gone without your sleep again. You yawn all the time. You're dead tired.
There is something the matter with my hair.
Oh, you reek of alcohol.
I have got a bit of a hangover, it's true.
It's the same every Sunday morning. Not to mention other days of the week as well.
Oh no, it's less frequent during the week because of the office.
And what's happened to your tie? Lost it during your last orgy, I suppose.
You're right, that's funny. Whatever could I have done with it?
Here, put this one on.
Thank you. That is kind.
Your hair's all over the place. Here's a comb.
Thank you.
And you haven't even shaved? Just take a look at yourself.
And my tongue's all coated.
I'm not surprised. You're headed for cirrhosis, my
Do you
friend.
think so?
Keep the tie. I've got plenty more.
You always look so immaculate.
Your clothes are all crumpled. They are a disgrace. Your shirt is downright filthy. And your shoes? Your shoes haven't been touched. And would you just look at your shoulders?
What's the matter with my shoulders?
Turn around. Come on, turn around. Oh, you've been leaning against some wall. No, I haven't got a brush with me. It would make my pockets bulge.
I don't remember.
It's a positive disgrace. I feel ashamed to be your friend.
Very hard on me.
I've every reason to be.
Listen, Jean, there are so few distractions in this town. I get so bored. I'm not fit for the work I'm doing every day at the office, 8 hours a day, and only 3 weeks holiday a year. When Saturday night comes around, I feel exhausted. And so, you know how it is, just to relax.
My good man, everybody has to work. I work 8 hours a day, the same as everybody else, and I only get 3 weeks off a year. But even so, you don't see me. Willpower, my good man!
But everybody hasn't got as much willpower as you do. I can't get used to it. I just can't get used to life.
But everybody must get used to it. Or do you consider yourself some superior being?
I don't pretend to be.
I'm just as good as you are. In fact, with all due modesty, I may say I'm better. The superior man is the man who fulfills his duty.
What duty?
Good morning, gentlemen. Can I give you something to drink?
What's going on? Whatever is it?
Whatever is it?
Oh, rhinoceros! Oh, rhinoceros!
Oh, rhinoceros! Quick, come and look at the rhinoceros!
It's rushing straight ahead, brushing up against the shop windows!
Well, look! Oh, rhinoceros! Rhinoceros going full tilt on lots of pavement!
Well, I'll be.
There! They frightened the poor kitty.
Well, of all things.
Well, of all things!
Well, of all things!
Well, of all things! Well, of all things! Did you see that?
Well, of all
It
things!
certainly looked as if it was a rhinoceros. It made plenty of dust.
Well, of all things, it gave me such a scare.
Your basket and all your things.
Really, these days, you never know.
Fancy that.
May I help you pick up your things, madame?
Thank you, how very kind. Do put on your hat. Oh, it gave me such a scare.
Fear is an irrational thing. It must yield to reason.
Already out of sight.
My friend here is a logician.
Well, what did you think of that?
Animals can certainly travel. Very happy to meet you. That'll teach her to buy her things from somebody else.
Well, what did you think of that?
I still don't let my cat go.
You don't often see that.
Would you hold him a moment?
First time I've seen that. Not spiteful, is it?
Went past like a comet.
He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Well, what did you think of that?
Don't hang about. Look after these two gentlemen. What did I think of what?
Of the rhinoceros, of course, what you think I meant.
Trust puss. So what do you think?
2 brandies.
2 brandies, right?
Very kind of you, I'm sure.
Brandy. Oh, don't mention it. It's a pleasure.
Well, what did you think about it?
Well, nothing. It made plenty of dust.
Have some good leaks.
Puss, puss, puss.
It's $1 a pound.
Thank you, how very kind. It's such a pleasure to come across old courtesy. Unlike the young people of today.
You should buy from me. You wouldn't even have to cross the street or run into the risk of these accidents.
But you must admit it's extraordinary.
It's a great pleasure to meet you, madame.
Thank you for holding my cats.
You pretties.
You're incorrigible.
May I walk you a part of the way?
I asked for mineral water. She's made us.
Oh, sure.
My husband's waiting for me at home. Maybe some other
I
time.
sincerely hope so, madame.
So do I.
Vanessa.
Delightful creature.
A rhinoceros, I can't get over
Charming,
it.
wasn't she?
I'm going to explain to you what a syllogism is.
I can't. What syllogism?
It's fantastic, I can't get over it.
A syllogism consists of a main proposition, a secondary one, and a conclusion.
What conclusion?
I just can't get over it.
Yes, I can see you can't. Well, it was a rhinoceros. All right, so it was a rhinoceros. It's miles away by now, miles away.
But you must admit it's extraordinary. A rhinoceros goes racing about the middle of the town, and you don't even bat an eyelid. It shouldn't be allowed. Put your hand in front of your mouth.
Yes, it shouldn't be allowed. It's dangerous. I hadn't realized, but don't worry about it. It won't get us here.
Someone ought to protest to the town council. What's the council there for?
Oh, excuse me. Perhaps the rhinoceros escaped from the zoo.
Oh, you're daydreaming.
But I'm wide awake.
Awake or asleep is the same thing.
There is some difference.
That's not the
But you
point.
just said being awake and being asleep were the same thing.
I said there's no difference between dreaming awake and dreaming asleep.
I do dream. Life is a dream.
You're certainly dreaming when you said the rhinoceros escaped from the zoo.
I only said perhaps.
Because there's been no zoo in our town since the animals were destroyed in the plague ages ago.
Then perhaps it came from a circus.
What circus are you talking
I don't
about?
know. Some traveling circus?
You know perfectly well the council banned all traveling performers. There haven't been any since we were children.
In that case, maybe it's been hiding ever since in the surrounding swamps.
Oh, the surrounding swamps. The surrounding swamps! My friends live in a thick haze of alcohol.
That's very true.
It's clouding your brain. Where do you know of any surrounding swamps? Our district is known as Little Castile. Because the land is so arid.
How do I know then? Maybe it's been hiding under a stone. Or it's been nesting on some withered branch.
If you think you're being witty, you're not. You're just being a bore with your stupid paradoxes. You're incapable of talking seriously.
Today? Yes, only today.
Oh, today's the same as any other day.
Oh, not quite as much.
Can't bear people to try and make fun of it.
My dear son, I'd never allow myself to.
Oh, my dear Behringer. You are allowing yourself.
Oh, no, never. I'd never allow myself to.
Yes, you would. You've just done
But how
so.
could you possibly think?
I think what is true
I assure
that you were making fun of me.
you really can be obstinate sometimes.
And now you're calling me a mule into the bargain. Even you must see how insulting you're being.
It would never have entered my mind.
You have no mind.
All the more reason why it wouldn't enter it.
Things that can enter the minds of even people without one.
That's impossible.
And why, pray, is it impossible?
Because it's impossible.
Then kindly explain to me why it's impossible. If you seem to think you're capable of explaining everything.
I don't imagine anything of the kind.
Then why do you act as if you do? And why, I repeat, are you being so insulting?
I am not insulting you. Far from it. You know what tremendous respect I have for you.
In that case, why do you contradict me, making out that it's not dangerous to let a rhinoceros go racing about the middle of the town, particularly on a Sunday morning, when the streets are full of adults and children, too?
A lot of them are in church. They don't wear any
If
risks.
you allow me to finish, and at market time as well.
I never said it wasn't dangerous to let rhinoceros go racing about the town. I simply said I personally never considered the danger. It had never crossed my mind.
I sometimes wonder if you consider anything.
Oh, right. I agree. A rhinoceros roaming about the town is not a good thing.
It shouldn't be allowed.
I agree. It shouldn't be allowed. It's a ridiculous thing, all right? But it's no reason for you and me to quarrel. Why go on at me just because some wretched parasadactyl happens to cross by? A stupid quadruped not worth mentioning, and ferocious into the bargain, and which has already disappeared, which doesn't exist any longer. We're not going to bother about some animal that doesn't exist. Let's talk about something else. Jean, please, there are plenty of other subjects for conversation. To you.
Put that glass back on the table. You're not to drink.
There's no point in leaving it for the proprietor.
Put it down, I tell you.
Very well. Oh, there's Daisy!
Watch out! How clumsy you
Oh, there's
are!
Daisy. I don't want her to see me in this
Your
state.
actions are unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. Why are you afraid of that young girl?
Oh, be quiet. Please be quiet.
She doesn't look an unpleasant person.
I must apologize once more.
Now do you see what comes of drinking? You know strength left in your hands, you know control of your movements, you're besotted and fatigued, you're digging your own grave, my friend. You're destroying yourself.
I don't like the taste of alcohol much, and yet if I don't drink, it's as if I'm done for. I'm frightened, and so I drink to not be frightened any longer.
Frightened of what?
I don't know exactly. It's sort of anguish, difficult to describe. I feel out of place in life among people, and so I take to drink. That calms me down and relaxes me so I can forget.
You try to escape from
I'm
yourself.
so tired. I've been tired for years. It's exhausting to drag the weight of my own body about.
That's drinker's
I feel
bloom.
conscious of my body all the time, as if it were made of lead, or I were carrying another man around on my back. I can't seem to get used to myself. I don't even know if I am me then. As soon as I take a drink, the lead slips away and I recognize myself. I become me again.
That's just being fanciful. Look at me, Berenger. I weigh more than you do, and yet I feel light. Light as a feather! Oh, look out! I'm so sorry.
No harm done. No harm done.
You certainly are strong.
Yes, I am strong. I'm strong for several reasons. First, I'm strong because I have natural strength. Secondly, I'm strong because I have moral strength. Lastly, I am strong because I'm not riddled with alcohol. I have no wish to offend, my dear Berenger. I'm afraid I must tell you that it's alcohol which weighs so heavily on you.
Here's an example of a syllogism. All cats have 4 paws. Isdor Frickin both have 4 paws. Therefore, Isdor Frickin are both cats.
My dog has got 4 paws.
It's a cat.
I've barely got the strength to walk. Maybe I don't even want to.
So then, logically speaking, my dog must be a cat?
Logically, yes, but the contrary is also true.
Solitude seems to oppress me, and so does the company of others.
You contradict yourself. What oppresses you? Solitude or the company of others? You consider yourself a thinker, and yet you're devoid of all logic.
Logic is a very beautiful thing.
As long as it's not abused.
Life is an abnormal business.
On the contrary, nothing could be more natural. And the proof is that people go on living.
There are more dead than there are living, and their numbers are increasing. The living are getting rarer.
The dead don't exist. There's no escaping that. And yet, you're oppressed by them as well. How can you be oppressed by something that doesn't exist?
I sometimes wonder if I exist myself.
You don't exist, my dear Berenger, because you don't think. Start thinking, then you will.
Another syllogism. All cats die. Socrates is dead. Therefore, Socrates is a cat.
And he's got 4 paws. That's true. I've got a cat named Socrates.
There you are, you see.
Fundamentally, you're a bluffer and a liar. You say that life doesn't interest you, and yet there's somebody who does.
Who?
Your little friend from the office who just went past. You were very fond of her.
So Socrates was a cat, was he?
Logic has just revealed the fact to us.
You didn't want her to see you in your present state. That proves you're not indifferent to everything. But how can you expect this, Daisy to be attracted to a drunkard? Here's what you must do. Dress yourself properly. Shave every day. Just put on a clean shirt.
Laundry's so expensive.
Cut back on your drinking. Here's the way to come out. Wear a hat, a tie like this, a well-cut suit, shoes well
There are
polished.
several possible solutions.
Tell me.
What do I do? Tell me.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
You're a timid creature, but not without talent.
I've got talent. Me.
So use it. Put yourself in the picture. Keep abreast of the cultural and literary events of our time.
One solution is this. One cat could have 4 paws and another cat could have 2.
Use what free time you do have. Don't let yourself adrift.
I've just never really had the time. I was an official, you know?
Well, I can always find time to learn.
One can always find time.
It's too late now.
I'm afraid it's a bit late in the day for me.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
You work 8 hours a day, the same as me and everybody else. But not on weekends, nor in the evenings, nor for 3 weeks in the summer. That's quite sufficient with a little method.
What about the other solutions? Use a little method. A little method.
Instead of drinking and feeling sick all the time, wouldn't it be better to feel fresh and eager, even at work? And you can use your free time constructively
How do you mean?
by visiting museums, reading literary periodicals, going to lectures. That'll solve your problem. It'll cultivate your mind. In 4 weeks' time, you'll be a cultured man.
You're right.
There could be 1 cat with 5 paws.
You see, you even think so yourself.
And 1 cat with 1 paw. But would they still be cats?
Why not?
Instead of squandering all your spare money on drink, wouldn't it be better to buy a ticket to an interesting play? Have you heard anything about the avant-garde theater? There's so much talk about. Have you ever seen one of Inesco's plays?
Unfortunately, no, I've only heard people talk about them.
By taking 2 of the 8 paws away from one of the cats.
There's one playing now. Take advantage of it.
There could be one cat with 6 paws.
It would be an excellent initiation into the artistic life of our times.
And one cat with no paws at all.
You're right, perfectly right. I'm going to put myself into the picture, like you said.
That cat will be specially privileged.
I will, I promise you.
You promise yourself. That's the main thing.
One underprivileged cat with no paws at all.
I make myself a solemn promise. I'll keep my word to myself.
That would be unjust, therefore not logical.
This afternoon, I'll go to the museum. And this evening, over 2 tickets for the theater. Will you come with me?
Oh, but this evening I have to meet some friends for a drink.
For a drink?
What's more, a cat with no paws at all
I promise to go. I always keep my word.
wouldn't be able to run fast enough to catch mice.
Oh, no, it's you that's setting the bad example. You're going out drinking.
You're already making progress in logic.
It's not a habit with me, you know. It's not the same thing with you. It's not the same thing at all.
Why isn't it the same thing?
I'm no drugger, not me.
Even with no paws, a cat must be able to catch mice. It's his nature.
I didn't mean that you were a drunkard, but why would it make me want any more than you in a case like that?
What's in a cat's nature?
Because there's moderation in all things. I'm a moderate person, not like you.
What did you say?
What about me? What did you say?
I said that. What's going on?
What's going on?
Oh, rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros in the opposite direction.
Oh, rhinoceros! What's going on? Rhinoceros! Rhinoceros going full tilt on off the pavement!
Oh, rhinoceros. It's rushing straight ahead, brushing up against the shop windows.
Oh, rhinoceros! Daisy! Well of all things!
Well of all things.
It ran over my cat! It ran over my cat!
What a tragedy. Poor little thing.
Well, what do you think of that?
You mustn't cry like that. It's too heartbreaking.
Were you there, Mr. Barringer? Did you see it?
Good morning, Miss Daisy. You must excuse me. I haven't had a chance to shave.
Oh, poor little thing.
That's going too far.
That's going too far.
My little kitty! My little cat! What can you do, dear lady? Cats are only mortal. What do you expect, madame? All cats are mortal. What else except that? My little cat! My little kitty!
Don't upset yourself.
Don't upset yourself, dear lady.
It's very upsetting, a thing like that.
My little cat! My little kitty!
Yes, it's very upsetting, a thing like that.
Come sit down here, dear lady.
Well, what did you think of that?
What did you think of that?
What did you think of that?
A glass of water for the lady. Come sit down, dear lady. Sit down.
Oh, poor woman.
Poor cat.
Better give her a brandy.
A brandy, this gentleman is paying.
One brandy right away.
I don't want any. I don't want any.
It went past my shop just a little while ago.
No, it wasn't the same one.
But I could have.
Yes, it was. It's the same one.
Did it go past twice?
I think it was the same one.
No, it was not the same rhinoceros. The one that went by first had 2 horns on its head. It was an Asiatic rhinoceros. This one only had 1 horn. It was an African rhinoceros.
Here's a drop of brandy to pull you together.
No.
You're talking nonsense. How could you possibly tell about the horns? The animal flashed by at such speed we hardly even saw it.
Don't, it will do you good.
That's true, but didn't go fast. Just have a taste. It's good.
You had no time to count its horns.
Make her drink it.
And what's more, it was traveling in a cloud of dust.
Drink it up.
Just a drop, my dear little lady. Be brave.
There you see,
I don't have to grope my way through a fog. I can calculate quickly. My mind is
Better
clear.
now.
But it had its head thrust down.
Now, wasn't that good?
Precisely, one could see all the better.
My little cat.
Utter nonsense.
I've got another cat you can have.
You dared accuse me of talking nonsense?
Yes, absolutely blithering nonsense.
Oh, we have to accept these things.
I've never talked nonsense in my life.
Try to be philosophic about
You're
it.
just a pretentious show-off, a pedant.
Now, gentlemen.
And what's more, a pedant who's uncertain of his facts because in the first place, it's the Asiatic rhinoceros with 2 horns and it's the African with 1.
You're wrong. It's the other way about.
He was the sweetest.
Do you want to bet?
You won't make a bet. Don't excite yourself, Mr. Barringer.
I'm not betting you. If anyone's got 2 horns, it's you Asiatic Mongol.
He always seems to make himself understood.
It's true. There are white Asiatics and black and blue and even some like us.
You drunkard!
I am not going to stand for that!
Oh!
shouldn't have gotten into such a rage. I feel too upset to go to the museum. I'll cultivate my mind some other time.
All a lot of made-up nonsense.
But I saw it. I saw the rhinoceros.
It's in the news. You can't deny that. It's all here. It's all down in the dead cats column. Read it for yourself.
Yesterday, just before lunch in the church square of our town, a cat was trampled to death by a pachyderm.
It wasn't exactly in the church square.
That's all it says, no other details.
Well, that's clear enough.
Really? I never believe these journalists. I don't need them to tell me what to think. I believe what I see with my own eyes. Speaking as a former teacher, I like things to be precise, scientifically valid. I've got a methodical mind.
What's a methodical mind got to do with it?
I think it's stated pretty precisely, Mr. Beauchard.
You call that precise? What precisely does it mean by a pachyderm? What does the editor of a dead cat's column know about a pachyderm? And what precisely does it mean by a cat?
Everybody knows what a cat is.
Really? Male cat or female? What breed and what color? The color bar is something I feel very strongly about. I hate it.
The color bar is not the point here, Mr. Beauchard. It's quite besides it.
Forgive me, Mr. Papillon, but you can't deny that the color bar is one of the great stumbling blocks of our time.
I know that. We all know that, but it has nothing to do with the issue.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dudard. Are you denying that throughout the course of history, racial prejudice
I tell you,
has
just
shown that?
enter into it.
I'm not so sure.
The color bar is not the issue at stake here.
Still, one should never miss an occasion to denounce it.
We never said we were in favor of the color bar, Mr. Beauchard. You're obscuring the issue. It's simply a matter of a cat being ran over by a pachyderm, in this case, a rhinoceros.
Speaking as a northerner, I think southerners have too much imagination. Simply, it was a matter of a flea being run over by a mouse. People like to make mountains out of molehills.
Let's get things clear. Did you, yourself, with your own eyes, see rhinoceros strolling through the streets of our town?
You didn't stroll, it ran.
I didn't see it personally, but a lot of very reliable people.
I never believe these journalists. I don't need them to tell me what to think. They don't care what they invent to sell their wretched newspapers and please the bosses they serve. And you mean to tell me that you were taken in by them? You, a qualified man of law? Forgive me for laughing. Ha, ha, ha.
But I saw it, Mr. Beauchard, and I'll take my oath on it.
Away with you, and I thought you were a sensible girl.
I can see straight. I saw the rhinoceros, and other people did,
I'm
too.
sure they were just watching something else. A bunch of idlers, work-shy loafers.
happened yesterday. Sunday.
I work on Sundays as well. I have no time for priests who do their utmost to get you into church, just to keep you from earning your daily bread by the sweat of your brow.
Oh!
Forgive me, Mr. Papillon. Just because I despise religion doesn't mean I don't esteem it highly. Any case, do you know what a rhinoceros looks like?
Yeah, it's a very big and ugly animal.
And you pride yourself in precise thinking. The rhinoceros, my dear little lady.
Okay, we are not in school. We're not going to start some lecture about some rhinoceros.
That's a pity.
Well, it's gone past 9. Miss Daisy, put away the timesheets. Too bad for the latecomers.
Good morning, Miss Daisy. I'm not late, am I?
I've been campaigning against ignorance wherever I can find it.
Hurry up, Mr. Manager.
Whether it be in a palace or a humble hut.
Quick, just sign the timesheet.
Even in printing presses.
Mr. Bozard, I consider you've gone too far.
I think so too, sir.
Do you suggest that Mr. Dudard, my colleague and yours, a law graduate and a first-class employee, is ignorant?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but the teaching you get at the ordinary schools is far better than what you get at the universities.
What about those timesheets?
Oh, here they are, sir. There's no clear thinking at universities, no encouragement for practical observation.
Oh, come on.
Well, Mr. Behringer, did you see the rhinoceros by any chance?
All you get at the universities are effete intellectuals with no practical knowledge of life.
Oh, rubbish.
Oh, yes, I saw it all right.
See, I'm not mad after all.
Oh, Mr. Behringer says that out of chivalry. He's very chivalrous, even though he doesn't look it.
What's chivalrous about saying Mr. Rhinoceros?
A lot when it's said to bolster up a fantastic claim by Miss Daisy. Everyone is so chivalrous to Miss Daisy. It's very understandable.
Don't twist the facts, Mr. Bozard. Mr. Behringer hasn't taken any part of the argument. He's only just arrived.
But you didn't see it, didn't you? We both did.
I'm sure Mr. Behringer thought he saw a rhinoceros. He's got such a vivid imagination. Anything's possible with him.
I wasn't alone when I saw the rhinoceros. Or perhaps there were 2 rhinoceroses.
He doesn't even know how many he saw.
I was with my friend Jean and other people were there too.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Okay, gentlemen, well, there's been enough discussion with all this gossip. Rhinoceros or no rhinoceros, you're not paid to waste your time discussing real or imaginary animals.
Imaginary. Real.
Very real?
Yeah! May I remind you, gentlemen, that you are in working hours. I'm putting an end to this futile discussion.
Very well, Mr. Papillon. You are the chief after all. Your wishes are command.
Then get on, gentlemen. I don't want to have to make a deduction from your salaries. Well, Mr. Dudard, have you finished your report on the alcohol repression law?
I'm just finishing it off, sir.
Then do so. It's urgent. Now, Mr. Botard and Mr. Behringer, have you finished your proofs on the wine shade control regulations?
Not yet, Mr. Papillon, but they're well on their way.
Then do so. The printers are waiting. Now, Miss Daisy, you can finish typing up those letters and bring them into my office.
Very good, Mr. Papillon.
I will see you shortly, gentlemen.
I'm telling you, it's all a hoax.
What's all a hoax?
Your rhinoceros business, of course. You made up all this rumors to get these propaganda started.
What propaganda?
No question of any propaganda.
Do I have to tell you again? I saw it. I actually saw the rhinoceros and other people did too.
You make me laugh. Propaganda? Propaganda for what?
You know more about that than I would. Don't make out you're so innocent.
At any rate, Mr. Botard, I'm not in the pay of any furtive underground organization.
That's an insult, and I'm not standing for that.
Oh, now, Mr. Botard.
It's an insult, I'm telling you.
Is Mr. Booth not in today?
No, he isn't. He must be absent.
Great. Just when I needed him. You let anyone know that he was ill or couldn't make it in?
He didn't say anything to me.
This keeps going on. I shall fire him. He's played me this trick too many times. I haven't said anything up to now, but it stops here. Does anyone have the key to his desk?
Here's Mrs. Booth.
Good morning, Mrs. Booth.
Good morning, Mr. Papillon. Good morning, everyone.
Well, Where's your husband? What's happened to him? Is it too much trouble for him to come to the office anymore?
It's not, well, he went to visit his family for the weekend. He's got a touch of the flu.
He's got a touch of the flu, has he?
He says so in his telegram. We'll see back on Wednesday. Could I have a glass of water? Sit down a moment.
Yes, please. Get her a glass of water straight away.
She must have a weak heart.
It's a great nuisance that your husband can't make it in, but that's no reason for you to fall to pieces.
No, it's, well, I was chased here all the way from the house by a rhinoceros.
How many horns to the house?
Don't make me laugh.
Give her a chance to speak.
It's down there by the entrance. It seems to want to come upstairs.
Keep calm.
Are you feeling better now, Mrs. Booth?
There, down there, there is one.
I can't see a thing. It's all an illusion.
Of course it's one down there, turning round and round. Get up here, there's no staircase any longer.
You're the rhinoceros expert. Take a good look.
I'm no rhinoceros expert.
Do you see the way he's running the building? It seems to be in pain. He can't run.
Seems to be looking for something.
Can you see it now?
Yes, yes.
I can see it.
Perhaps we're all seeing things. You as well. Why never see things? Something is definitely down there.
What do you mean something?
It's obviously rhinoceros. As you saw earlier, and you too, definitely.
It's got 2 horns. It's an African rhinoceros. Or Asiatic rather. Oh, I can't remember whether the African rhinoceros has 1 horn or 2.
It's demolished the staircase. And a good thing too, considering how long I've asked the management to replace it with stone steps. It was bound to happen. I saw it coming. I knew it. And I was right. As always.
Now look, our 2 horns are characteristic of the Asiatic and the African rhinoceros. And is 1 horn a characteristic of the African and the Asiatic one?
And hear the way it's trembling. Seems to be looking at us. Looking at one.
I'm going to try to stroke it. It's probably not.
In any case, it's out of reach.
Poor thing.
You're very well informed. Don't you think it wants what you
Mr. Behringer! What are you rambling on about? He must still be under the weather. Mr. Bowtart was right.
How can it be possible in a civilized country?
All right. But does it exist or not?
It's all an infamous plot. It's all your fault. Why mine rather than yours?
Mine? It's always the little people that get blamed. If I had my way.
We're in a fine mess in our staircase.
Stop it. It is no time to quarrel. Sit down.
It's all the management's fault.
Maybe, but how are we going to get down?
I'll take you in my arms and we'll float down together.
You keep your horny hands off my face.
I was only joking.
God, it can't be true.
What's the matter?
It's my husband. Oh, Boof. My poor Boof, what's happened to you? You positive? I recognize him.
Ha! Well, that's the last straw. This time he's fired for good.
Is he insured? I understand it all now.
Life insurance in a state like that. Oh my God! Oh, quick, bring her over here.
Don't upset yourself.
Perhaps it's all these right.
Legally, it can be done.
You need to get a solicitor's advice.
You can count on one thing, my union will hear about this. It will be hushed up. My poor darling, I can't leave him like this. My poor darling. He's calling to me. He's calling to me. You're feeling better now, Mrs. Booth.
Picking up a bit.
Oh, would you like to join the union? You can count on our support. You should join the committee.
Well, work's gonna be delayed. Again. What about the post, Miss Daisy?
I am more concerned about how we're going to get out of here.
That is the problem. Through the window!
I know where it came from.
It's too high.
Perhaps we ought to call a fireman and get them to bring ladders.
Miss Daisy, go to my office and telephone fire brigade.
I can't desert him. I can't desert him now.
Well, if you'd like to file a divorce, it'd be perfectly justified.
You'd be the injured party.
Now it's not going to look for that. I want to abandon my husband in such a state. You are a good woman.
What are you going to do?
Watch
I can't leave him now.
What's she trying to do?
I'm taking him home.
Hold her back.
writing?
A little bit. A long time ago. Is she still on the phone?
You're already a long way off. They're out of sight.
I had trouble getting the firemen.
A fine state of affairs.
I had trouble getting the firemen.
Are there fires all over the place then?
I agree with Mr. Botard. Mrs. Booth's attitude is very moving. She isn't good enough feeling.
It just means one less employee who has to be replaced.
Do you really think he's no use to us anymore?
No, they weren't called out for other fires. They were called out for other rhinoceros.
For other rhinoceroses?
Yes, other rhinoceroses. 7 were called in this morning. Now there are as many as 17.
What did I tell you?
32 have been reported. They're not official yet, but they're bound to be soon.
They always exaggerate.
Are they coming to get us?
I'm hungry.
Yes, the firemen are on their way.
What about the work?
It looks as if it's out of our hands.
We'll have to make up the lost time.
Well, Mr. Botard, do you still deny all rhinocerotic evidence?
You can count on one thing. You mean we'll hear about this. We are against you dismissing Mr. Booth without notice.
It's not my decision. We'll see what conclusions they come up with at the inquiry.
And no, Mr. Dudard, I don't deny all rhinocerotic evidence. I never have.
That's not true.
That is so not true.
I repeat, I never have. I simply wanted to wait and see where this was all coming to. Because I know my own mind. I'm not simply content to state that a phenomenon exists. I make it my point to understand and explain it. At least I could explain
Then
it.
explain it to us.
Yes, please explain it, Mr. Botard.
Explain it when your colleagues ask you to.
I will explain it.
We're all listening.
I'm most curious.
I will explain it one day.
Oh, why not now?
You and I will go for the explanation later, in private. I know the whys and the wherefores of this whole business.
What? Why?
What wherefore?
I'd give a lot to know about these whys and wherefores.
And also, you'll also be interested to know that I know the names of the traitors, the names of those responsible. You can't fool me. Alan matched the perpetrators.
You're evading the question, Mr. Botard.
Let there be no evasions.
What, me?
Just now you accuse us all of suffering from hallucinations.
And now your hallucinations have become provocations.
And how do you consider this change came about?
It's an open secret, gentlemen. Even the man on the street knows about it. Only hypocrites pretend not to understand.
That's the fireman.
I'm telling you, there's going to be some big changes around here. They won't get away with it as easily as that.
That doesn't mean anything, Mr. Botard. Rhinoceroses exist, and that's that. That's all there is to it.
Over here, fireman.
Put up the ladder.
I hold the key to all these happenings, an infallible system of interpretation.
I want you all back in the office this afternoon.
Pity about the office, Mr. Papillon.
I don't know what the management will say.
Well, these are exceptional
They
circumstances.
can't ask us to come back in until the stereos are repaired.
Well, if anyone breaks a leg, it'll be the management's responsibility.
That's true.
After you, Miss Daisy.
Come on, miss.
Goodbye, Miss Daisy. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Miss Daisy, you can come over to my house to finish typing up those letters.
Oh my God.
Mr. Barringer, may I remind you that this is not a holiday and that work will resume as soon as possible. You hear what I say, gentlemen?
Of course, Mr. Papillon.
They'll go on exploiting us until we drop, of course.
Come on now.
Well, go on.
After you, Mr. Papillon.
After you, Chief.
After you, of course.
Grab Miss Daisy's letters.
Come on now, hurry up. We haven't got all day. We've got other calls to make.
Careful with my papers. Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, Mr. Papillon.
Goodbye, Mr. Papillon.
Dudard, lock up the offices.
Don't you worry, sir. After you, Mr. Botard.
I am about to descend, gentlemen, and I will take up this matter immediately with the proper authorities. I'll get to the bottom of this so-called mystery.
Oh, I thought it was all perfectly clear to you.
Your irony has no effect on me. What I am looking for is the proofs and documents, yes, proofs evident of your treason.
That's absurd.
Your insults.
It's you who are insulting me.
I don't insult, I merely prove.
Come on. Now.
What are you doing this afternoon, Shall we meet for a drink?
I can't. I'm taking advantage of this afternoon off to go and visit my friend Jean. I do want to make it up to him after all. We got carried away. It was all my fault.
Come on now.
After you.
No, after you.
No, please, after you.
No, I insist after
No,
you.
after you, after you.
After you, after
No,
you.
after you, after you.
Hurry up.
Jean? Jean!
What is it?
I've dropped by to see you, Jean.
Who is it?
It's me, Behringer. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Oh, it's you, is it? Come in.
Hello, Jean.
What time is it? Aren't you at the office?
You're still in bed. You're not at the office. Then sorry if I'm disturbing you.
Funny, I didn't recognize your
I
voice.
didn't recognize yours either.
Sit down.
Aren't you feeling well? Jean, it was stupid of me to get so upset yesterday over a thing like that.
Everything like what?
Yesterday?
When yesterday? Where yesterday?
Don't you remember it was about that wretched rhinoceros we
What
saw?
rhinoceros?
The rhinoceros. Rather, the two wretched rhinoceroses we saw.
Oh, yes, I remember. How do you know they were wretched?
Oh, I just said that.
Let's not talk any more about it.
That's very nice of you.
And that's
But I would like to say how sorry I am for being so insistent and so obstinate and getting so angry. In fact, I acted stupidly.
Oh, that's not surprising with
I'm
you.
very sorry.
I don't feel very well.
That's probably why you're still in bed. You know, Jean, as it turns out, we were both right.
What about?
About the same thing. Sorry to bring it up again, but I'll only mention it briefly. I just wanted you to know that in our own separate ways, we were both right. It's been proved now. There are some rhinoceroses in this town with one horn and some with two.
That's what I told you! Well, that's just too bad.
Yes, too bad.
Or maybe it's all to the good. I guess it depends.
In the final analysis, it doesn't matter much which comes from where. The important thing, as I see, is that they're there at all.
I don't feel well! I don't feel well at all!
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you think it is?
I don't know exactly. There's something wrong. Somewhere.
Do you feel weak?
Not at all. On the contrary, I feel full of being.
I meant just a passing weakness. It happens to everybody.
Oh, it never happens to me.
Perhaps you're too healthy then. Too much energy can be a bad thing. It unsettles the nervous system.
My nervous system is in perfect order. I'm sound in mind and limb. I come from a long
I
line.
know you do. Perhaps you just caught a chill. Have you got a temperature?
I don't know. Yes. Probably I have a touch of fever. It's my head that hurts.
Just a slight migraine. Would you like me to leave you alone?
No, stay. You don't worry me.
Your voice is hoarse too.
Horse.
A bit hoarse, yes, that's why I didn't recognize it.
Why should I be hoarse? My voice hasn't changed as yours. That's changed.
Mine.
Why not?
It's possible, I hadn't noticed.
I sometimes wonder if you're capable of noticing anything. Oh, my forehead, it hurts. I must have given it a bump.
When did you do that?
I don't know exactly. I don't remember it happening.
But it must have hurt you.
I must have done it while I was
The
asleep.
shock would have wakened you up. You must have just dreamed you knocked yourself.
I never
Your
dreamed.
headache must have gone while you were asleep. You've forgotten you dreamed, or rather, you only remember subconsciously.
Subconsciously me. I'm master of my own thoughts. I think straight. I always think straight.
I know that. I haven't made myself clear.
Then make yourself clearer. Stop making these unpleasant observations.
one often has the impression that one has knocked oneself and one has a headache. If you'd really knocked yourself, you'd have a bump. Oh, you've got one, in fact. You do have a bump.
A bump?
Just a tiny one.
Where?
There, it starts just above your
I
nose.
don't have a bump. We've never had bumps in my family.
Have you got a mirror?
That's the limit.
Oh,
Oh, I do feel something. Just a moment I was checking the bathroom. It's true. I have got a bump. So you see, I did knock myself.
you don't look well. Your skin is quite green.
You seem to delight in making unpleasant observations. Have you taken a look at yourself lately?
Forgive me, I didn't mean to upset you.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
Your breathing hard too. Does your throat hurt? If your throat hurts, perhaps you've got a touch of quincy.
Why should I have a touch of quincy?
It's nothing to be ashamed of. I sometimes get it. Let me feel your pulse.
It'll pass.
Your pulse is quite normal. You needn't get alarmed.
Why should I be alarmed? I'm not alarmed in the slightest.
You're right. A few days rest will put you right.
No time to rest. I must go out and buy food.
There's not much the matter if you're hungry, but you ought to take a few days rest. It's wise to take care. Has the doctor been to see you?
I don't need a doctor.
Oh, but you ought to get the doctor.
You're not going to get a doctor because I don't want a doctor. I can take care of
You
myself.
shouldn't reject medical advice.
Doctors invent illnesses that don't exist.
They do it in good faith just for the pleasure of looking after people.
They invent illnesses. They invent them, I tell you.
Perhaps they do, but after they invent them, they cure them.
In veterinary surgeons.
Veins look swollen and jutting out.
It's a sign of
Of
virility.
course, it's a sign of health. Strength.
What do you think you're doing, scrutinizing me as if I were some strange
It's your
animal?
skin.
What's my skin got to do with you? I don't go on about your skin,
It's
do
just that
I?
it seems to be changing color all the time. You're getting greener and greener. It's hardening as well.
Stop mulling me about! What's the matter with you? You're getting on my nerves.
Perhaps this is more serious than I thought. We must get the doctor.
You leave that thing alone! You mind your own business.
All right, it was for your own good.
I know what's good for me.
You're breathing very heavy.
One breathes the best one can. You don't like the way I breathe, I don't like the way you breathe. It's too painful. You can't even hear it. It's as if you were going to drop dead at any moment.
I know I'm not as strong as you.
I don't keep trying to get you to go to the doctor. Do I leave people to do as they please?
Don't get angry with me, Jean. You know very well I'm your friend.
There's no such thing as friendship. I don't believe in your friendship.
That's a very hurtful thing
There's
to
nothing
say.
for you to get hurt
Dear
about.
Jean.
I'm not your dear John!
You're certainly in a very misanthropic mood today.
Yes, I am misanthropic. Very misanthropic indeed. I like being misanthropic.
You're probably still angry with me over our silly quarrel yesterday, and I admit it was my fault. That's why I came to say I was sorry.
Quarrel are you talking?
I told you just now about the rhinoceros.
It's not that I hate people. I'm just indifferent to them. Or rather, they disgust me. And they better stay out of my way or I'm gonna run them down!
Well, I shall never stand in your way.
I've got one aim in life, and I make it straight for you.
I'm sure you're right, but I feel as if you're passing through a moral crisis. You mustn't excite yourself. It's bad for you.
Oh, my clothes irritate me!
What is the matter with your skin?
Can't you leave my skin alone? I certainly wouldn't want to change it for yours.
It's gone like leather.
It's more solid, it's weatherproof.
You're getting greener and greener.
You certainly have color mania today. You're seeing things as a result of all your drink.
I did yesterday, but not today.
It's a result of all your past.
I promised you to turn over a new leaf, and I take notice you friends like you give me advice, and I never feel humiliated on the contrary.
I don't care what you feel!
What did you say?
I didn't say anything. I just went brrr. Because I felt like it.
Do you know what's happened to Booth? He's turned into a rhinoceros.
What happened to Bill?
He's turned into a rhinoceros. Come on now, stop joking.
I can buff if I want to. I have every right. I'm in my own house all the
I
time.
didn't say you couldn't.
And I shouldn't if I were you. I feel hot. I feel hot. Just a moment, I must cool myself down.
He must have a fever. He's got the shivers. I'm jolly well going to phone the doctor.
So old Boof turned into a rhinoceros, did he? He was just having you on. He disguised himself. He was just
He
disguised.
looked very serious about it, I assure you.
Oh, well, that's his business.
He didn't want to change, I'm sure of it.
How do you know?
Well, everything led one to suppose so.
What if he did do it on purpose? What if he did do it on purpose?
I'd be very surprised. At any rate, Mrs. Booth didn't seem
Oh,
surprised.
Mrs. Booth, she's just a fool.
Well, fool or no fool,
Never let his wife know what he was up to.
you're wrong there, Jacques. It was a very united family.
Oh, very united, are you sure?
Very united, and the proof is that
Booth led his own private life. He had a secret side of him deep down which he kept to himself.
I shouldn't make you talk. It seems to upset you.
On the contrary, relax.
But even so, let me call the doctor.
I absolutely forbid it. I can't stand obstinate people. Well, whether he turned to rhinoceros on purpose or against his own will, he's probably all the better.
How can you say a thing like that? Surely you don't think that he would want to...
You always see the black side of everything. Obviously, it gave him great pleasure to turn into a rhinoceros. There's nothing extraordinary
There's
in that.
nothing extraordinary in that, sure, but I doubt it gave him much pleasure.
And why not, pray?
I don't know exactly. It's just something you feel.
It's not as bad as all that rhinoceros are living creatures the same as us. They've got as much right to life as we have.
As long as they don't destroy ours in the process, you must make a difference in
Are
mentality.
you under the impression that our way of life is superior?
Well, at any rate, we have a set of moral standards which I consider incompatible with the standards of these animals.
Moral standards? I'm sick of moral standards! We gotta go beyond moral standards!
And what would you put in their place?
Nature.
Nature?
Nature has its own set of laws. Bruises against
Are you
nature.
suggesting we replace our moral laws by the law of the jungle?
It would suit me.
You say that, but deep down, no one will.
We've got to build our life on new foundation, get back to our primal.
I don't agree with you at all. Just think a moment. You must admit that we have a philosophy that these animals don't share in an irreplaceable set of values which it's taken centuries of human civilization to build up.
Once we demolish all that, we'll be better off!
I know you don't mean that seriously. You're joking. It's a poetic fancy. I never realized you were a poet. That's not what you believe fundamentally. You know as well as I do that mankind...
Don't talk to me about mankind!
I mean, the human individual, humanism.
Humanism's all washed up, you ridiculous old sentiment.
But you must admit that the mind...
Just cliches, you're talking rubbish!
Rubbish!
I'm
I'm
rubbish!
amazed to hear you say that, Jean. Really, you would like to be a rhinoceros yourself.
No!
Can you speak more clearly? I didn't catch what you said. You swallowed the words.
No!
What?
I said, keep your ears open. What's wrong with big rhinoceros? I'm all for change.
It's not like you to say a thing like that. Oh, you must really be out of line. You mustn't get into such a state. Tell I really recognize you anymore.
Demolish life! I'm far too high!
What are you doing? You're generally so modest.
The swamps! The
Look
swamps!
at me, Sean! Can't you hear me any longer? Can't you see me?
I can hear you perfectly well! I can see you perfectly well. Sorry.
I really can't leave him like that. After all he's said. I am going to phone the doctor. It is absolutely necessary.
No!
Calm down, Sean. You are being ridiculous. Oh, your horn's getting longer and longer. You're a rhinoceros!
I'll trample you! I'll trample you down!
Rhinoceros! He's a rhinoceros! Now, where's your willpower? No, it's not the same. What is it?
I've dropped by to see you, Behringer.
Who is it?
It's me.
Who's me?
Me. Dudard.
Oh, it's you. Come in.
I hope I'm not disturbing you. Hello, Behringer.
Hello, Dudard. What time is it?
So, you're still barricaded in your room, feeling any better, old man?
Forgive me, I didn't recognize your voice. Yes, yeah, I think a little bit better.
My voice hasn't changed. I recognized yours easily
I'm
enough.
sorry, I thought that you're right. Your voice is quite normal. Mine hasn't changed either, has it?
Why should it have
I'm
changed?
a bit hoarse, am I?
Not that I noticed.
That's good. That's very reassuring.
Why? What's the matter with you?
I don't know. Does one ever know? Voices can suddenly change. They do change, alas.
Have you caught a cold as well?
I hope not. I hope not. I sincerely hope not. But, do sit down, Dudard. Take a seat.
Are you still feeling a bit off color? Is your head still bad?
Yes, I have still got a headache. But there's no bump. I haven't knocked myself, have I?
No, there's no bump as far as I can see.
There never will be, never.
Well, if you don't knock yourself, what should there
If
be?
you really don't want to knock yourself, you don't.
Obviously, one just has to take care, but really, what's the matter with you? You're all nervous and agitated? It must be your migraine. Just stay quiet and you'll feel better.
Migraine? Don't talk to me about migraines! Don't talk about them!
Well, it's understandable you've got a migraine after all that
I
emotion.
can't seem to get over it.
Then it's not surprising you've got a headache.
Nothing there. You know, can I start from something like that?
What can I start?
I'm frightened of becoming someone else.
Oh, calm yourself now and sit down. Dashing up and down the room like that can only make you more nervous.
You're right, I must keep calm. I just can't get over it, you know?
About Jean, you mean? I know.
Yes. Jean, of course, and the others too.
It really must have been a shock to you.
And what's not surprising, you must admit.
Well, I suppose so, but you mustn't dramatize the situation, really. It's no reason.
I wonder how you'd have felt. Jean was my best friend, and then to watch him change like that before my very eyes, and the way he got so furious.
I know, you felt let down, I understand. Just try not to think about
How
it.
can I help thinking about it? He was always so warm-hearted, always so human. Who'd have thought it of him? You know, we'd known each other for donkey's years. He was the last person I'd expect to change like that. And then to do that to me.
I'm sure he didn't do it especially to annoy
It
you.
seemed as if he did. If you just seen the state he was in, the expression on his face.
It's just that you happened to be with him at the time. It would have been the same no matter who was there.
But after all our years together, he might have controlled himself in front of me.
You think everything revolves around you. Think that everything that happens concerns you personally. You're not the center of the universe, you know.
You're right, I know. I must try to readjust myself. But the phenomenon in itself is so disturbing to be completely honest. It absolutely shatters me. What can be the explanation?
For the moment, I haven't found a satisfactory explanation. I observe the facts and I take them in. They exist, so they must have an explanation, right? A freak of nature, perhaps, or a bizarre caprice, an extravagant joke, a game. Who knows?
Jean was very proud of us. And I'm not ambitious at all. I'm content to be what I am.
Perhaps he felt the need for a bit of relaxation, or perhaps he felt the need for a breath of fresh air, the countryside, the wide open spaces. I'm not saying that's any excuse.
I know what you're saying, or at least I'm trying to, but, you know, if someone accused me of being a bad sport or hopelessly middle class or completely out of touch with life, I'd still want to stay as I am.
Well, all stays be hard, don't worry. So I get upset over a few cases of rhinoceros. Perhaps it's just another disease.
Exactly, and I'm frightened of catching it.
Would you stop thinking about it? Really, you attach too much importance to the whole business. There's still the epidemic theory. It's like influenza. It's not the first time there's been an epidemic.
There's never been one like this. And what if it's come from the suburbs?
Well, in any case, you can be sure that grouping others didn't do what they did or become what they became just to annoy you. They wouldn't have gone to all that trouble.
You're right, that makes sense. It's a reassuring thought. On the other hand, perhaps that makes it worse. There, you hear that?
Let them alone. Really, they're not doing you any harm. You're You're obsessed by them. It's no good for you. You're wearing yourself out. You've got one shock. Why go looking for more? You need to concentrate on getting back to normal. And then when you've got over your shock completely and you can get out for a breath of fresh air, you'll feel better. You'll see.
Go out. I suppose I'll have to. I'm dreading the very moment I'll be bound to meet some of them.
And what if you do? You only have to stay out of their way. And there aren't as many as all that.
I see them all over the place. You'll probably say that's being morbid too.
They don't attack you. If you just stay out of their way, they ignore you. You can't say they're spiteful. They've even got a certain natural innocence, a sort of frankness. Besides, I walked right along the avenue to get to you today, and I got here safe and sound. Didn't I? No trouble at all?
Just the sight of them upsets me. It's a nervous thing. I don't get angry. No, it doesn't pay to get angry. I watch out for that, but it does something to me here. I get a tight feeling inside.
I think you're right to a certain extent to have some sort of reaction, but you go too far. You know, sense of humor, that's your trouble. Not at all. You need to learn to be more detached and see the funny side of things.
I feel responsible for everything that happens. I feel involved. I just can't feel indifferent.
Oh, judge not least to be judged. If you start worrying about everything that happens, you'll never be able to go on living.
If only it had happened somewhere else. And we just read about it in the papers. When I could discuss it quietly, examine the question from all points of view, and come to an objective conclusion. We could organize debates with the professors and lawyers and writers and blue stockings and artists and people and the ordinary man in the street as well. It would be very interesting and constructive. But when you're involved yourself, when you suddenly find yourself up against the brutal facts, you can't help but feel directly concerned. The shock is too violent for you to stay cool and detached. I'm frankly surprised. I'm very, very surprised. I just can't get over it.
I was surprised too, but now I'm starting to get used to it. This is the situation and there's nothing you can do about
That's
it.
fatalism.
That's common sense. When a thing like this happens, there's bound to be a reason for it. That's what we have to find out.
I refuse to accept this situation.
Well, what else can you do? What are your plans?
I don't know. I must think it over. I should write to the papers. I'll draw manifestos. I shall apply for an audience with the mayor or his deputy if the mayor is too busy.
You need the authorities to act as they think best. I'm not sure if you morally have the right to butt in. In any case, I don't think it's all that serious. I consider it silly to get worked up because a few people decided to change their skins. They just weren't happy in the ones they had. They're free to do as they like.
We must attack the evil at the roots.
Evil? That's just a phrase. Who's to say what's evil and what's good? It's a question of personal preferences. You're worried about your own skin, that's the truth of the matter, but you won't become a rhinoceros. Really, you won't. You haven't got the vocation.
There you are. If our leaders and fellow citizens all think like you, they'll never take any action.
Well, you wouldn't want to ask for help from abroad. Surely this is an internal affair. It only concerns our country.
I believe in international solidarity.
You're Don Quixote. I don't mean that nastily. I'm saying it for your own good because you really need to calm down.
You're right. I know. I get too worked up. But I'll change. I will change. I'm sorry to keep you all this time listening to my ramblings. You must have work to do. Did you get my application for sick leave?
Oh, don't worry. It's all in order. In any case, the office hasn't resumed work. We haven't got a chief anymore.
Well, that's not possible.
Well, it's true, I assure you. Mr. Papillon's resigned.
I'm amazed. Was it on account of the staircase?
I don't think so. Anyways, that wasn't the reason he gave.
Why was it then? What's got into him?
He's retiring to the country.
Retiring? He's not the age. He might have still become the director.
He's given it all up. Said he needed a rest.
I bet the management's pretty upset to see him go. They'll have to replace him, or your diploma should come in handy. You stand a good chance.
I suppose I might as well tell you. It's quite funny, actually. The fact is, he's turned into a rhinoceros.
A rhinoceros? I don't believe it! I don't think it's funny at all! Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Well, you know no sense of humor anymore. Didn't want to tell you because I knew it would upset you, and I knew very well you wouldn't be able to see the funny side of things. You know how impressionable you are.
Mr. Papillon. He had such a good job, too.
So that proves his metamorphosis was sincere.
He must have been involuntary.
How can we tell? It's hard to know the real reasons for people's decisions.
He made a mistake. He has a hidden complex complexes. He should be psychoanalyzed.
How intolerant are you? Maybe Mr. Papillon felt the need for a bit of relaxation after all these years of office life.
And you're too tolerant, far too broad-minded.
My dear Behringer, one must always make an effort to understand. And in order to understand a phenomenon and its effects, one has to work back to the initial causes by honest intellectual effort. We must try to do this because, after all, we are thinking beings. I've yet to succeed. But in any case, one has to start out favorably disposed, or at least impartial. One has to keep an open mind. That is essential to a scientific mentality. Everything is logical. To understand is to justify.
You'll be siding with the rhinoceroses before long.
No, not at all. I'm simply trying to look at the facts unemotionally in the face. I'm trying to be realistic. I don't contend with evil occurring naturally. I don't believe in seeing evil in everything. I leave that to the inquisitors.
Can you consider all this natural?
What could be more natural than a rhinoceros?
Yes, but for a man to turn into a rhinoceros is abnormal beyond question.
Well, of course, that's a matter of
It
opinion.
is beyond question, absolutely beyond question.
You seem very sure of yourself. Who's to say where the normal stops and the abnormal begins? Can you personally define these conceptions of normality and abnormality?
Lunacy is lunacy, and that's all there is to it. Everybody knows what lunacy is. And what about the rhinoceroses? Are they practice or are they theory?
Both.
How do you mean both?
Both the one, the other, or the other, the... It's a debatable point.
Well, in that case, I refuse to think about it. There they go again! Will I dare stop, you devils!
Let them alone. Be more polite. You shouldn't talk to people like that.
There they go again! It's the logicians, Monocle. It's the logicians. That's the bloody limit. The logicians turned into a rhinoceros!
That's no reason to be coarse. If he was a genuine thinker, as you say he was, he couldn't have gotten carried away. He must have weighed all the pros and cons before deciding.
I'll never join up with you!
Yes, that certainly makes you think.
No, never. I'll never join up with you.
They're running around the house. They're playing just big babies. There's somebody at the door, Behringer.
Morning, Mr. Dudar.
It's you, Miss Daisy.
Does Mr. Behringer feel any better?
How lovely to see you, my dear. Do you often visit Behringer?
Oh, he's on his own, poor thing. He's not doing very well at the moment. Somebody has to give him a hand.
Well, you're a good friend, Miss Daisy.
That's what I am, a good friend.
You've got a warm heart.
I'm a good friend, that's all.
Oh, Miss Daisy, how kind of you to come. Very kind.
It certainly is.
Did you know, Miss Daisy, that the logicians turned into a rhinoceros?
I did. I saw him as I was crossing the street to arrive here. He was running very fast for someone his age. How are you feeling, Mr. Behringer?
My head's still bad. I've still got a headache. Isn't it frightful? What do you think of it?
I think you gotta get some rest. You should take things quietly for a few more days.
I hope I'm not disturbing
I
you.
meant about the logician.
Why would you be? Oh, about the at all.
I thought I might be in the way.
What did you expect me to think? I got news for you. Botar's a rhinoceros.
Well,
I don't believe it. He was against it. He protested. You must be mistaken.
I know he was against it, but that didn't stop him from changing. 24 hours after Mr. Papillon.
well, he must have changed his mind. Everybody has the right to do that.
And obviously, anything can happen. I can't believe you. They must have lied to you.
I saw him do it.
He must have been lying. He was just pretending.
He seemed sincere. Sincerity itself.
Did he give any reasons?
What he said was, we must move with the times. Those were such human words.
Move with the times. What a mentality.
I was almost certain I'd meet you here, Miss Daisy.
What childishness.
If you wanted to see me, you only had to telephone.
Oh, well, you know me, Miss Daisy. I'm discretion itself.
Come to think of it, but Botar's behavior doesn't surprise me. His firmness was only opposed, which doesn't stop him from being a good man. Of course, good men make good rhinoceroses, unfortunately. It's because they're so good that they get taken in. But he was a good man with a lot of resentment. He was riddled with hatred for his superiors. He got an inferiority complex.
Your argument doesn't hold water because the example he followed was the chiefs, the very instrument of the people, as he used to say. No, to me it seems that for him it was a case of community spirit triumphing over his anarchic impulses.
It's the rhinoceroses which are anarchic because they're in the minority.
Well, it's true. They are for now.
They're a minority, but they're getting larger. My cousin's a rhinoceros now, and so is his wife. To think of all the great minds like Oprah, Mitch McConnell, and the aristocracy, Prince Harry.
All our great names.
There's others, plenty others. About a quarter of the whole town now.
We're still in the majority. We must take advantage of it. We must do something before we're inundated.
Well, they're very potent, very.
Well, right now, let's eat. I brought us some food.
You're very kind, Miss Daisy.
We're very kind.
I don't know how to thank you.
You're staying with us?
I don't want to be a nuisance.
What are you talking about? You know that we love you to stay.
You know, I hate to be in the way.
Of course, stay, dude. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
As a matter of fact, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Just now you said you had nothing to do.
You know, I had trouble getting food this morning. They just demolished everything. All the shops are closed. They have big signs out. Closed on account of transformation.
And they should all be rounded up in some big enclosure and kept under strict supervision.
Well, that's easier said than done. The Animals Protection League would be the first to object.
Yeah, and besides, we all have a friend or a family member. That'll make it even more difficult.
So everybody's mixed up in it?
Everybody's in the same boat.
But how can people be rhinoceroses? It doesn't bear thinking about.
No one even seems to mind anymore. No one seems surprised at all when you see a herd of rhinos run down the street. You just stand aside and wait for them to pass, and then you carry on as if nothing had happened.
Well, it's the wisest course to take.
Well, I can't get used to it.
You know, I wonder if one ought to give it a try.
I don't see how a legal man like yourself can want to try something. What's going on? What is it? They've demolished the walls of the fire station!
That's true, they demolished them.
They're coming out!
All the firemen, whole regiment of rhinoceroses led by drums!
They're pouring out of the street!
It's gone too far, much too far.
Streaming out of the courtyard!
Out of the houses.
The windows as well.
They're joining up with the others!
There aren't enough of us left anymore.
How many with one horn and how many with two?
The statisticians are bound to be compiling the statistics by now. There'll be plenty of erudite controversy, you can be sure.
They can only calculate approximately. It's all happening so fast it leaves them no time to calculate.
We must leave that to statisticians, my dear. We'll eat and we'll feel better. You'll calm down once we have some food. You too.
I don't feel very hungry, actually. Or rather, I don't feel like eating tinned food. I feel like eating outside on the grass.
You mustn't do that. Think of the risk.
But I really don't want to put you to the trouble.
But we've already told
I
you.
really mean it.
I hate to see you go, but I guess I can't force you.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Don't let him go. He mustn't go.
I don't want him to go, but people must do what they please.
I feel certain scruples. I feel as though it's my duty to stick by my coworkers and my friends through thick and thin.
It's not as if you were married to them.
I've renounced marriage. I prefer the great universal family to a little domestic one.
I hate to see you go, Dudar, but there's nothing we can do about it anymore.
It's my duty to stick by them. I have to do my duty.
No, you're wrong. You don't see where your real duty lies. Your duty is to oppose them with a firm, clear
I
mind.
shall keep my mind clear as it ever was. But if you're going to criticize, it's better to do so from the inside. I'm not going to abandon them. I won't abandon them.
He's very good-hearted.
He's too good-hearted. You're too good-hearted. Don't let him go. He's making a mistake. He's human.
What can I do?
Come back, Dunard. We're fond of you. It's too late. It's too late.
There's nothing we can do anymore.
Where is he now?
He's with them.
Which one is he?
Well, you can't tell. There's no way to show any resemblance.
They all go like. He did hesitate. You should have held him back by force.
I didn't dare to.
You should have been firmer with him. You should have been insistent. He was in love with you, wasn't he?
He never made any official declaration.
Everybody knew he was. He's done this out of thwarted love. He was a shy man. He wanted to make a big gesture to impress you. Don't you feel like going after him?
No, or else I wouldn't be here.
You don't feel let down, do you, Daisy? There's nothing you regret.
No. No.
I want so much to be of comfort to you. I love you. Don't ever leave me. I want so much to make you happy. Do you think you could be happy with me?
I don't see why not. If you're happy, then I'll be happy.
There's no point in Dudard quarreling with Botard as things turned out.
And that's the thing about Dudard anymore. I'm here with you. We have no right to interfere with other people's lives.
But you're interfering with mine. You know how to be firm with me.
That's not the same thing. I never loved Dudard.
I see what you mean. If he'd stayed, he'd always have been an obstacle between us. Happiness is such an egotistical thing.
We must fight for happiness. Don't you agree?
I adore you, Daisy. I admire you as well.
I'm afraid you won't say that once you get to know me better.
The more I know you, the better you seem. And you're so beautiful, so very beautiful. Particularly compared to them. You probably think that's a compliment. They make you seem more beautiful than ever.
Have you been good today? You haven't had any brandy?
Oh, yes, I've been good.
Is that the truth?
Yes, it's the truth, I assure you.
Can I trust you?
Yes, you must believe me.
I guess you can have a small glass. It will be a reward.
Thank you.
That'll be enough. I don't want you to feel ill. How does your head feel now?
Much better, darling.
Good, so we can take the bandage off. It doesn't suit you at all.
No, don't touch it.
Nonsense, we're gonna take it off.
I'm frightened there might be something underneath.
You're so frightened of everything. See, there's nothing underneath. It's as smooth as a baby.
You're right, you're getting rid of all of my complexes. What should I do without you,
I'll
Daisy?
never leave you alone again.
I'll have no more fears now I'm with you.
I'll keep them all at bay.
We'll read books together, I'll become clever.
There's those people about we'll go on long walks.
Yes, along the pier in the Huntington Gardens.
To the zoo.
I'll be brave and strong. I'll keep you safe from harm.
You don't need to defend me, silly. We don't wish anyone any harm, and no one wishes us any.
Sometimes one does harm without meaning to, or rather one allows it to go unchecked. I know you didn't like poor Mr. Papillon very much, but perhaps you shouldn't have spoken so harshly that day when Booth turned into a rhinoceros. You needn't have told him he had such horny hands.
But it's true, he had.
I know he had an idea, but you could have said so less bluntly and not hurt his feelings as much. It had a big effect on him.
Good, do you think so?
He didn't show it. He was too proud for that, but the remark certainly went home. It must have influenced his decision. Perhaps you might have been means of saving him.
How was I supposed to foresee what was going to happen? Besides, he was so ill-mannered.
For my own part, I will never forgive myself for not being kinder to Jean. I never gave him a really solid proof of the friendship I felt for him. I wasn't sufficiently understanding with him.
You can't think like that. We must try not to feel guilty.
How right you are, my wonderful love. You're all my happiness, the light of my life. We're together, aren't we? Nobody can come between us. Our love is the only thing that's real. Nobody has the right to stop us from being happy. In fact, nobody could they?
There's not a soul left anymore.
We're all alone. We're left all alone.
That's what you wanted.
You mean that's what you wanted?
It's you.
You! They've all gone mad. The world is sick. They're all sick.
We shan't be the ones to hear them.
How can we live in the same house as them?
We must try, then we'll get on with them.
They can't understand us.
They have to, there's no other way.
Do you understand them?
Not yet, we're gonna learn and understand the language.
They haven't got a language. Listen, you call that a language?
How'd you know? You're no polyglot.
We'll discuss this later. We must have lunch first.
I'm not hungry. This is all too much for me to handle.
But you're the strong one, Daisy. It's precisely for your courage that I admire you so.
You said that before.
Do you feel sure of my love?
Yes, of course.
I love you so.
You keep saying the same things, my dear.
Listen, Daisy. There is something we can do. We'll have children. And our children will have children. It'll take time, but together we can regenerate the human race.
Regenerate the human race.
It happened once before.
Yeah, Adam and Eve, they had a lot of courage.
And we too can have courage. We don't need all that much. It happens automatically with time and patience.
What's the use?
Of course we can with a little bit of courage.
I don't want children. They're bored.
How can we save the world if we don't?
Why bother to save
What a
it?
thing to say. Do it for me, Daisy. Let's save the world together.
Perhaps we're the ones who need saving. Perhaps we're the crazy ones.
Daisy, you're not to talk like that.
They look so natural and content. They're not insane. They were right to do what they did.
We are the ones who are doing right, Daisy, I assure you.
It's very presumptuous of you.
You know perfectly well I'm right.
There's no absolute right. It's the world that's right, not just you and
I am right, Daisy, and the proof is that you understand me when I speak to you.
What does that
The
prove?
proof is that I love you as much as it's possible for a man to love a woman.
That's a funny sort of argument.
I don't understand you any longer, Daisy. Think of our love, our love.
I feel a bit ashamed of what you call love. This male weakness and female too. There's nothing to even compare with the wondrous energy emanating off of the creatures around us.
Energy? You want some energy, do you? I can let you have some energy.
I would have never thought it
Sorry,
possible.
forgive me. I don't know what came over me losing control like that.
It's because you ran out of arguments. That's
Oh,
why.
dear, in the space of a few minutes, we've gone through 25 years of
I
married life.
pity you. I know you all too much now.
You think they're stronger than us?
Indeed
Maybe
they are.
Maybe they are. Well, in spite of everything, I swear to you, I'll never give in. Never.
So you heard that?
They're singing. They're not singing, they're roaring. They're roaring, I tell you.
You're mad they're singing.
You can't have a very musical ear then.
I'm afraid you don't know much about music, my dear. They're singing and dancing and playing as
You
well.
call that dancing?
It's their way of dancing. It's beautiful.
They're disgusting.
Now you mustn't say things like that. It upsets me.
I'm sorry, we're not going to quarrel on their account.
Oh my God.
You go too far, Daisy. Take a good look at
I
them.
mustn't be jealous that I can.
I can see your opinions are directly opposed. It's best not to discuss the matter.
Now you mustn't be nasty.
Then don't you be stupid.
It's no longer possible for us to be together. He really isn't very nice. Really. He's not very nice.
Men aren't so bad looking, you know, and I'm not a particularly handsome specimen, believe me, Daisy. Daisy, where are you? Daisy, come back. You haven't even had your lunch. Daisy, don't leave me, Daisy. It was obvious things weren't working out. The home was broken up. We just weren't getting along together. But she shouldn't have left like that with no explanation. She didn't even leave a message. That's no way to behave. Now I'm all on my own. But they won't get me here. You won't get me! I am not joining up with you. I am staying as I am. I am a human being. A human being. It's an impossible situation. It's my fault she's gone. What'll become of her? That's one more person on my conscience. I can easily picture the worst because the worst can easily happen. Poor little thing that's all alone in this world of monsters. Nobody can help me find her. Nobody, because there's nobody left. I can't bear the sound of them any longer. The only solution is to convince them. But convince them of what? Are the changes reversible? That's the point. Are they reversible? It would be the labor of Hercules far beyond me. In any case, to convince them, you'd have to talk to them. And to talk to them, you'd have to learn their language. Or they'd have to learn mine. But what language do I speak? What's my language? Am I speaking English? Yes, it must be English. But what is English? I can call it English if I want to, and nobody can say that it isn't. I'm the only one who speaks it. Do I know what I'm saying? Do I? And what if it's true? What Daisy said, and they're the ones in the right. A man's not ugly to look at. Not ugly at all. Oh, what a funny looking thing. What do I look like? What? Photographs. Who are all of these people? Is it Mr. Papillon? And is that Daisy? And is that Botard or Dudard or Jean? Or is it me? Yes, now I recognize myself. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me! I'm not good looking. I'm not good looking at all. They're the good looking ones! How I was wrong. I wish I was like them. I haven't got any horns. More's a pity. A smooth brow looks so ugly. I need one or two horns to give my sagging face a lift. Perhaps one will grow, and I needn't be ashamed any longer. Then I could join up with them. But it'll never grow. My hands are so limp. Why won't they get rough? My skin is so slack. I can't stand this white, hairy body. Oh, to have skin in that wonderful, dull green color, a skin that looks decent naked without any hair on it like theirs. Their song is charming. A bit raucous, perhaps, but it does have charm. I wonder if I could do it. Da! No, that's not it. Try again. Louder. Da! No, that's not it. It's too feeble. It's got no drive behind it. I'm not trumpeting at all. I'm just howling. There's a big difference between trumpeting and howling. I've only got myself to blame. I should have gone with them while there was still time. Now I'm a monster, only a monster. I'll never become a rhinoceros. Never. I've gone past changing. I want to. I really do, but I can't. I just can't. I can't stand the sight of me. I'm too ashamed. I'm so ugly. People who try to hang on to their individuality always come to a bad end. Too bad! I'll take on the whole of them. I will put up a fight against the lot of them. The whole lot of them. I am the last man standing and I am staying as I am. I am not capitulating.
We've got some fun stuff here.
So first off is Isaac, our backstage hand.
He loves early. I'll take the candy though.
All right, up next we got Skylar.
No, sit down!
Sit down! As you can see, he is a very tenacious person, and he is the one who is in charge of all of the lights.
Next up is Grace, our other wonderful AD. She has just been absolutely amazing, a joy to work with, and we're so glad that she's
here. Up next, we got Jonathan. Is Jonathan in the house?
No. He's our light producer.
Yeah, he was our light producer. Lastly, but certainly not least, we have Sophie.
Our director.
Behind you.
At the end of the show, and since because of the nature of our show, we decided to give you paper flowers. Each of those has a note.
Sylvia's just been absolutely amazing. She's made us love the production that all of us came in not really knowing what was going to happen. But she's just been a joy, and we're really
She
glad
will do
that.
Now we're
We're